Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sultan Salahuddin Al Ayyubi, and I'm from the Digital Office Administration of the University of Jakarta. My registration number is 17124222002, and my supervisor is Mr. Maulana Admirul Adha, S.Pd, M.Pd, who supervised me when I was making this report. Now, today I will present my work, which is Fieldwork Report at the Sea Import Division of PT Connect Logistics. Now, here are the list of contents, which consists of company profile, which usually consists of the date of its form, the history, and of course, there's organizational structure, field of work, which usually consists of the work I did when I was in the company. And then there's issues and solution, which is the issues I found when I was working, then the solution I give to them. And then there's the gap between theory and practice, which basically means is the difference between what we learn in the university between the work we actually done in the workplace. And then contribution, in which what I contribute to the company when I was working there, and then recommendation for both the university and the company. Okay, here the company profile. Petaconic Logistics is a current logistic company, and it was formed in the year 2000 by its president Leo Lee. And as you can see in the picture on the right, we have a full timeline of history of how the Peta Connectivity was born to the year 2001 and their achievements. As we can see, they have achieved many achievements throughout the year. And then here are the organizational structure. It, it has many divisions, start from the air cargo sales office, counting team, sea export team, custom clearance teams, and many others. And as you can see in the red mark, that's the place where I was put in. I was working in the sea freight import team, in which the work usually consists of inputting import data into the company's system. Now, here are my field of work. My first field of work is inputting data into the company system. PT Connect Logistics has its own company system, which is called Elvis, which usually is used in many of their works, including in their exporting, importing, and even accounting. Okay, and the second is inputting data into the Chase Bea Cukai web. Now, this one is quite tricky because one single misstep and it will be very dangerous for us because we'll need to pay the fine to Bea Cukai. Usually, I only done it for a couple of times, but they trusted me to do it as long as I get supervised on doing it. Okay, the third work that I was doing is checking and correcting invoice data. Sometimes inputs that we receive usually have error in it, where it missing one number or it was having more amount than it was supposed to be. So it is my duty to check on that and correcting it manually. And then the last but not least is preparing mail so it can be ready for delivery. I usually help preparing mail for the company so they can deliver it to another company. Okay, here are some issues that I've found. The first one is the error in the system data. The system, the company system office isn't perfect. And I found some errors sometimes where it just doesn't work or freezes. And then the second issue is unorganized digital archive. Better Connect Logistics doesn't have a good digital archive. which means the digital archive they have right now is very unorganized and is making it very hard to find the file and data we need to complete our work. Now, here are my solutions. For the first problem, I will report the issue to my supervisor, the company supervisor, so that it can be corrected. That way, we won't have any problem, any wrong data. And then for the second problem, I'll recommend them a new digital archive, which is based off name and time. Since they are a logistic-based company, they will have many names of many customers in their work. So that means name base is a good idea because that way we can put the name of our customer in the folders and then put the files of that same customer into the folder name. Or we can use the time-based archive, which basically put them in chronological order. From big folder is the year, for year 2024, 2025, and then inside that folder is month, ranging from January to December. And inside that month folder is days, from the first day to the last day of the month. Okay, here are the gap between theory and practice that I found there. The big difference between what we learn in the university, the real life work environment is of course the culture. There are a big difference between the culture in the university and the real life work environment. That's why we need to adapt as fast as possible so we can easily work with ease and peace. Now, the other difference that I found is, of course, is what we are learning because some of the materials that I've been learning in the university isn't doesn't come in the work I usually do. As I was saying before, we have our own system there, and it's nothing that we ever know or we will learn in the university. So it's a completely new system that we are unfamiliar with, and we need to learn it there. Okay, here are my contribution. As I was saying before, I recommend them an archives based on time or name. And this is an example of it based on time. As you can see, there is the daily report April 2024. This is a perfect example for it because it consists of the year, the month, and daily reports of each day in that month. And for the file itself, it was using Excel, so making the daily report will make it even easier. Okay, here are my recommendations. First is for the university is developing a collaboration with Pete Connect Logistics to ensure a good relationship between university and company. A collaboration is of course needed for the relationship between company and university to be on good terms as always. And the second is learning about company system. As we know, many companies have their own unique system. And that is one of the big problems that we know. Because we never learned it at university. We always learn the basics. That's why for my recommendation, I recommending we learn about a company's system. As we as I say earlier, by developing collaboration with a company, we can ask the company to help us with the learning of their system. That way we can learn about the company system, and then when we finally get out of the university and find a real job, we'll have ease doing that job because we know that they have unique system in their company and we already know how to use it. And of course, for the company. Okay, first of all, I'm addressing the issues like before. My recommendation is multi-maintenance. As we know, there are some error in the system sometimes. So I recommend for them to do a monthly maintenance, for them to ease the work. That way, we won't have any error. Even though there will still be error, but at least it will be not as frequent as before. And then the digital archive, as I said before, I recommend them a new digital archive form, which is based off name and time. That way, they will have a better archive that is built with easier way to find the file they needed. Okay, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. I'm sorry if there are any mistakes in my talk that disturbs you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.